We're gonna make some like fuel line brackets while I'm waiting for half-inch tubing bender to arrive. It'll probably be here tomorrow, but in the meantime I can make some fuel line brackets. So I'll show you how I'm going to do it here. This is kind of inspired from IA427, who does a lot of these Factory 5 kits as well, and it's a pretty good idea. But I'm taking one of these rubberized hose clamps. This one's about 1 inch in diameter, and I'm going to modify it so that it'll clamp onto my half-inch rigid fuel line that's going to be running under the frame. So taking like a 1/4 bolt, because I'll probably riv nut these brackets in place, and then running a stack of washers underneath to act as a spacer, about 5 washers, and then putting it through to the other side, and then using a nut to kind of keep the holes aligned during this modification that I'm doing. So I'm trying to get this and a nut. And just kind of running it down fairly snug. There we go. So that's kind of what it looks like at this point. And then I'm taking something rigid, a lot more rigid than the aluminum fuel line I'm running, because it has a tendency to want to crush. So I'm using 2 1/2-inch drill bits, and I'm going to put them in here, and we'll take you over to the arbor press and show you what we're doing here. Alright, so running these in here and putting this kind of on top, and what I'm doing is kind of pressing it down, flattening it out a little bit, and moving them apart. So we'll kind of do that. And then to make sure they stay apart, I'm taking just a bolt and putting it on top to kind of act as like a die, and kind of making sure everything kind of lines up, and then pressing this down it doesn't take a whole lot of force. Putting a divot in there, and now it'll kind of keep everything separated. Alright, so it's been a long time since I've had to bend tubing. So, let's see here. Line up our zeros and then the mark. It's just a little short. Right about there. And let's see. And we want it to be close to 90. Bend. That's going to be going up towards the front, and then put a fitting here to take it to soft line to go to the regulator in the engine bay. Now I got to measure and do the one for the rear. Not bad. Alright, so we got those lines kind of roughed in, and I think that's it for tonight. Need to make a run to AutoZone or something, get some 1/2" ID rubber tubing for some padding for these fuel lines. But this is kind of what it looks like so far, and I'll talk about the padding. So here it is at the front, kind of have them staggered a little bit. One will be supply, one will be return, and I'll probably mount the fuel regulator over here somewhere. And those might get shortened a little bit, or it might keep them the same. I'm not sure yet. And then on the rear, kind of staggered as well, and one's a little bit longer, just so that the fittings don't butt up against each other too badly. Let's see if I can show you using some rubber hosing for some padding. So down under here. So the bracket's there, it's not tight, but it looks pretty good. But I'm going to add, so it's really close here. So I think I'll add some rubber tubing to kind of cushion that, and probably some 1/2" or whatever ID, split it, cut a piece like 3 or 4 inches long, split it so I can slap it over there, and then possibly here too, and down this way as well. But other than that, everything looks good. You can kind of see there's some separation here. It looks pretty good. It's nice and tight up out of the way. The 4-inch frame rail right here hangs lower, so it's somewhat protected a little bit, and it's rigid line. But I think that's it for tonight, and we will get some tubing for tomorrow.